The final chapter 10 topic that I will discuss is immutable. The author mentions it here, and then later on at times he will return to this word. So I just want to make sure you guys know what it means. Immutable is where an object that is set cannot be changed. So once you set an object to be equal to something, then the contents cannot be altered or modified. So let's look at an example. Strings are immutable. Now we discussed strings. I think we introduced strings probably back in chapter 2. Revisited strings in chapter 4, I believe, and then we revisited again in chapter 7. Well, we are revisiting strings once again. So now strings are immutable, and as you can see here, I have a string called an S. That object is now equal to hello world after the first line is executed. After the second line is executed, S now equals hello. So I want you guys to see what it looks like in memory, or what's really going on. So I have a string S, that is a string object. He first points to hello world. So after the first line is executed, this is what it looks like. After the second line is executed, notice what happens. Hello world did not change. Hello world cannot change because it's immutable. Instead, S points to new memory space that has the contents hello. So that's what immutable is all about. It's saying that this memory, once it's set, it can no longer be changed. The only thing you can do is move your pointer to a new memory location that has the data you want in it. So the question may be asked, what happens to hello world? Well, in Java, there's something called a automatic garbage collection, and he will wipe that guy out. And the reason why we have it in Java is if I don't wipe him out automatically, then I actually have memory sitting in my program that I cannot access. Once I move a pointer from that memory location, there's no way for me to retrieve it, so I have to get rid of it. In Java, that removal is done automatically. In other programming languages, I know when I was programming C++ over 10 years ago, we would have to, as a programmer, we would actually have to write lines of code that removed we do our own garbage collection, so we would actually have to remove anything that was set to null. And in certain cases, that was actually better. And in a simple case like this, I would prefer that the garbage collection is done automatically. But just understand that in this case, I'm not changing the contents of a particular memory address. I am only changing what that pointer points to in memory. So make sure you guys understand that. You do not need to understand garbage collection. That is something that is done automatically in Java. But again, I would encourage you to familiarize yourself with that term and what it means, so that way you can always sound like a programmer. And it is another important programming aspect, especially if you want to be in object-oriented programming. But for this class, you do not need to know what a garbage collection is, as that's done automatically. But immutable is where I change. Well, immutable means my object cannot be changed once it is set, and the only thing that I can do is have that object point to content somewhere else. So that will now conclude our discussion on chapter 10.